Cześć, I'm Piotr, co-CEO of Boldare, and you are watching Around the Product Development, a 25 minutes series for modern product builders who want to work smarter, not just harder, especially with AI in the mix. In this episode, we are diving into key question: how can you truly augment your dev team with AI? Not just experiment on side projects, but fundamentally change how you build software. Especially, what does real AI augmentation look like in Cursor, an AI first code editor designed for modern development workflows? To unlock its full potential, you need to rethink some core programming habits. That's not always easy, and many developers struggle to switch, not because Cursor doesn't work, but because it challenges the way they've worked for years. So, is Cursor a real game changer or just another shiny tool riding on the AI hype? Let's find out. My guest today is Maks Mogilski, software engineer at Boldare, and someone who's exploring what it really means to work side by side with AI in daily software development. Maks, great to have you here.
Yes, thank you for having me. And I can just answer your question. Yes, it is a game changer. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. It was not nice to be here. But really, yeah, I think it is great to be here. Thank you, Piotr, for your invitation. And yeah.
So let's see, I've been in this business for quite some time, and I'm not very sure that it's so shiny. But let's see. Can you walk us through how is your like a daily routine, your workflow looks like when you use Cursor? And I'm obviously interested. What's the biggest impact? Is it like speed, quality, or decision making?
Yeah, sure. So I have prepared a few examples right here that I want to really talk about. And I've just got a new project that I am new in. So I would like to talk about onboarding phase right now. So if you are new, if you are a new developer, so a few years ago, you had to have a colleague, a developer that will teach you the code base and everything, how the system works, how the business logic works, everything about it. And it takes time. It takes time, so it takes money, a lot of time, a lot of money. And now the first case is we can use AI for it. So for example, I have a project that has been developed for over 7 years. So it's a huge project, right? And I have a ticket to fix a bug, but I don't really know about this code that much. So I can basically ask AI, hey, I need to fix a bug here in this code. So basically I need to find a place that's my work. So find the place, and later on, I just attach a code where the bug is, or I think that the bug is, and AI can basically explain me what's the code doing, and also it can automatically fix the bug. It's not always this case, but usually it can fix the bug and tell me what the code does. So I don't need to have like 1v1 with one-on-one with a developer that is already on board to the project. I can here have AI that is my assistant, my developer that I can program with.
Okay,
So that's the first case.
But do you suggest that you don't need colleagues, and like building software, building complex software is not a team sport anymore?
I think it is still, and that's not gonna change. I think in the near future. But it is kind of game changing because I don't need to ask every single time for every single thing my colleague and take his time. I can just ask AI, and later on, if I still don't understand what's going on here, or I need a really deep understanding of a whole like system, like whole thing, then I can go to my colleague and ask more questions about it. But I am prepared, like I know what to really ask about, and maybe I already fixed the problem and I don't need to actually ask him. So there is always this possibility that I fix it right away, get knowledge about the code base, and I don't need another person for this.
Mhm.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I think so. So it's like when you use AI first IDE, right?
Hmm.
You can basically ask, like in ChatGPT, anything about your code base because the editor knows the context. And comparing to old times, or let's say the classic programming, it's more like, okay, you have to scroll it by yourself, and the best way method is actually to talk with people. Okay, read documentation, comments, or whatever, and you have this artificial friend that
Hmm.
helps you dive in. Okay, and so how about the let's say in later phases, like I don't know,
Hmm.
refactoring. I heard that okay, I don't like this cursor IDE because there is nothing about refactoring in the menu. So that's not a professional one. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's not that simple. I mean, it's a complex one to be honest, because we have variety code bases with various problems. So it's not that simple. But there are some ways that we can actually split the code into small chunks and put it into AI. So we are not saying, hey, I have this really messed up code and please fix it, right? Make it clean, make it look good. It won't work like this because here we can compare actually AI to a software engineer. So if I give you a code base, you don't know anything about it, and I just told you, oh, it's shitty code base, right? It's just completely mess. Please fix it. It's almost impossible to do something with this, right? So how should AI fix it right away? It's not like
Yeah, I have
magic.
the same problem, at my house when I ask
Mhm.
my daughter to clean the room. She says, "Okay, father, I just clean it," right? So we have different ideas about what cleaning means, and basically what you're saying is that uh, you have to talk with AI, right,
Mhm.
through various things to actually be more specific what you want, and if you refactor. Please tell me if I'm not mistaken. If you want to refactor, actually there is on purpose nothing in menu like refactor, because that's the classic way. But the modern way is actually to talk with AI, and either you can do it by yourself. It can help you with ideas, but also it can change the code along your, let's say, your strategy or your
Mhm.
tactics that you give to the cursor, right?
Yes, yes, that's right. But I think it is important to mention that it is only a tool, and you're basically using it as a tool, and it requires some configuration. I mean, it's not a crash course of Cursor, but you can find lots of stuff about it, how to properly configure it. Yeah, because we need to actually give the AI context, what should be done, how should be done, what are the requirements for our project and our vision, right? Because we are more like a general that is sitting and just planning everything. how it should be done. And then we have a worker that is doing the job, right? And we are only like saying, okay, I like this, I don't like this, change it in that way, change it in other way. So we are basically driving the whole thing. We are in control. So yeah, yeah. Do you have any more questions about it?
Yeah, a lot.
Did I
And
answer it?
yes, yes, you have. Thank you very much. And I have to, bring a nice metaphor that I learned from you, that working with AI is a bit like that previously we used Scythe, and it's like switching from Scythe to combine harvester.
Mhm.
And so you're like working on a different level. I'm kind of think of it like you're still the operator, you're still a driving, let's say driving force, but you have some tools that makes work for you. So is it like we or developers we become lazy with AI?
Yes, sometimes yes,
You know
definitely.
what I
But
mean? It's like you're doing
yeah,
something and then you click tap, 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 or
yeah,
maybe
tap, tap,
agent
tap.
does for you, right? So,
Yeah, I
it's
had
a
this
little bit
moment that
easy,
I
right?
was, yeah, I had this moment that I was just waiting for tap, yeah, instead of coding. Yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't say it makes you lazy because still it doesn't replace you, as you said. It's just a tool like combine harvester. So sometimes still like I don't know, you have a field that is clean, that is good. It's a good soil, yeah. So you can use this combine harvester, this tool, right? To like it's easy to use. You can just drive it in what way you want it. Um, but the hard part is that sometimes still you have like difficult fields, right? And you need to do this manual job, but still in combination of this usage of tools like combine harvester and also manual work, we can do more in less time, right? And also it doesn't take that much effort that it used to take. Yeah, so it's not like this that it will replace developers because I don't know, 2 years ago, everyone were saying, "Oh my God, you have only 1 year left, and AI will replace you completely." But here we are, and they are still saying, "Oh my God, you have only 1 year, and AI will replace you." But it's not happening right now. The only thing that is happening, we are going further and further with better solutions to develop software with higher quality, easier, faster, and focusing on things that are really important. So, for example, here's my another example. So actually all boring activities that we had to do as developers. So writing tests, I don't know, some code cleanups that are quite simple, but we just need to do it. Some type fixes, easier bugs. I mean, for experienced developers, it's quite obvious how to solve these problems, but we still need to waste time, waste our energy on these type of tasks. So here comes AI, and instead of spending, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour maybe on like adding this or fixing, then commenting, then pushing, waiting for the whole flow to go, we can just use AI basically on this with, of course, proper context, proper prompting techniques, proper knowledge how to use this tool. Because I don't know, but without any instruction, I wouldn't be able to use combine harvester, right? Like it's impossible because I am not a farmer. So it's still tool that you need to learn, but it gives you an opportunity to actually save time and do things easier, do things better, save this energy that you can actually put into harder, more difficult topics. So I think it is a great opportunity now for developers to use AI. Of course, there are some trade-offs that developers should be aware. And also, there are some knowledge that need to be gained before using AI to use it properly, as I said. But I think still it's a great tool and it's game-changing for me.
Okay, but before we go, into this limits or limiting factors, can you please explain to me why so many, people in tech are resistant
Mhm.
to what's happening, right? It's not like usual thing for them. They were, as far as I know them, for this more than 15 years, they were very curious about new things. And now I see it like not exactly. Even my fitness trainer, I think is more curious about AI than some of you know big developers. Why is that?
Yeah, the AI hype train
Okay.
might be one thing, but usually it goes with I've already tried it and it sucks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's really bad. But when did you try it? When? And a person says, "Oh, when ChatGPT came out, I tried to do something and it was horrible. Like, I tried to create an Instagram and I said, please create me an Instagram. I waited, I waited, I waited, and I didn't get my Instagram. I got some shitty block, right?"
Yeah.
So that's not the case, to be honest. Even now with AI, I like I said, you need some skills. You need a knowledge how to prompt and how to use AI tools to actually make it work. And I think it is a game changing. I mean, a game changing in what way you use AI tools. Because you can just open right now cursor and say, hey, create me an Instagram. And you can already guess it. It won't create you an Instagram because it's not possible. Like you go to, I don't know, for example, a software house, please create me an Instagram. Okay, but what kind of technologies, right? You need to pick first technologies for this solution, right? We have a problem, we need a solution. What kind of solution? So we pick technologies, we design everything. Do we want a feed? Do we want this feature, that feature, right? So basically, we need to do the same with AI. So the context, the context, the context, the context, and how we want to achieve it. Like AI is a great worker, but it has to have plan, right? So we need to say, hey, I want you to create something like Instagram. It's like very high level, it's very high level. But I want to use these technologies, yeah. And I want you to do this. And also I attach a screenshot. Or if you are familiar with MCP, there are some great MCPs like for Postgres, for Figma, that allow you to create mockups and the whole designs really fast. So you basically attach these things. So the AI has this whole like concept, your vision that you have in head. Um, and you click enter, right? And what? Do you have an Instagram? Probably not, but something similar. So it actually takes some steps, right? So you have to iterate, and maybe one is not enough, two is not enough, three is not enough, but 4 rounds are quite solid, and you have something, right? You have something, and you can iterate, 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 and you get to the point where you have a solid application. But it takes time, but it is way faster in this way than you would do it manually. So you are using a tool to be more efficient, right? Because of
Mhm.
course you could just cut uh, cut vegetables, cut everything from the field just manually, to just collect them. But you can use proper tools to cut it faster and without this effort.
Okay, so basically what I understand is first thing is you have to try newest versions of everything because the landscape changes like hell. Second of all, that's always a problem with the context. And basically, if you ask AI to do something and then you have a different result that that you would expect from yourself as a developer, right? You shouldn't be surprised because you didn't give it a context, right? So you have to work on the context. And I think that also applies when you have like a complex app. Then there is a lot of different things you have to add a context into. So it actually will follow, let's say, the idea that you as a developer have or you as a team member have. But okay, you're a bit of enthusiast of AI, enhanced development. So please be honest and tell us where AI fall short. For example, maybe does it understand the business context behind the code? It
Behind the
should,
count.
right?
Yes, sometimes it does, but like I said, it depends. It
Okay.
depends. Yeah, I want to get a few steps back, to be
Okay.
honest, because I didn't say very important thing that it's not that easy to actually prompt, like I said, and we have various techniques for various problems, right? Because we don't have this one solution that, okay, I will prompt it in that way and it will always work, right? It's definitely more complex and requires tons of actually knowledge and skills how to use AI. Some are trickier than usual. Like, for example, please gather 3 to 4 solutions, don't rush the solution, and then pick the best from these 3 to 4 solutions, right? So AI will actually prepare 3 to 4 solutions, we will think about it deeply, and then it will give you an answer. And there is always possibility that it's not right. Okay, but yeah, about business logic. Yeah, sometimes of course, but it depends. It always depends. It depends on the scope. It depends on complexity. Like for sure, some things can be done with AI. Like AI will understand the business logic, but we cannot say for sure it's always will be that way, right? Because we have tons, millions of different projects, millions of different business logics, but I wouldn't say it's a like one solution that will solve all your problems. There still need to be your part in all this, and it's more like a helper or tool that you use to solve a solution, not a solution solver.
Okay. Okay. So one of the last of the finishing questions. Tell me why is cursor such a groundbreaking thing comparing to regular
ChatGPT. Yeah.
IDE or ChatGPT, right? Because I feel that actually editor, which is AI first, in this case, cursor. We also have windsurf, right, in the landscape, but today we are focusing on cursor. Why is it such a big deal?
Yeah, it is a big deal because apparently, still, I need to take a step back when I was using ChatGPT, and basically I had to paste every file to the window context and say, hey, this component does this, and so on. Yeah, and still, I was losing lots of time switching between windows, but that was not a huge problem. But the problem was actually it wasn't actually prepared basically for coding. It was prepared for also daily task, everything, right? Everything. I don't know, for example, write me a novel, whatever, whatever. But here, cursor is strictly for coding, right? It has mainly one purpose: to write code, to help developers write code with AI. And we are not actually moving around windows, moving around systems. We can actually give context right away. So it's quite simple. We just attached files from our IDE. So for example, I have this system in, I don't know, 3, 4 files. I can attach it right away at my context, at my whole setup. Like I said, it's not a crash course. If you want to learn more about Cursor, you have tons of resources in the internet. But if you're familiar with the topic, you know about rules and so on. There's like huge configuration that can be done inside Cursor. So the AI has the context of all your files, of all your documentation and logic, and it is in one place. So it can work on it. And later on, it has also this knowledge, like in the memory, what has been done by AI, how the system works. So it is easier and easier to work with it. And also you're developing the flow with Cursor, like it's constantly helping you like an assistant. You're coding personal assistant. It's not just AI chat GPT that's, well, hello, how are you doing today? Do you want me to write you a novel? No, it's strictly for coding. So I think that's a huge benefit over chat GPT. Like just simple UI AI.
Okay. So basically, what I imagine is that like with Cursor AI, you have actually environment that you work within, and it totally understands your project. You talk about things you have defined these things inside the project, how it should behave, what do you like. It has history, and you can ask many things, and so it's not like a tool that you are reaching out for like some questions that are out of the context very often, right? So you are not you have less risk that it doesn't understand what you want to do. Okay, Max, thank you very much for being here. It was great to have you, and I would like to invite you for another, I think, episode that maybe we will dive more into different things. But today, I would like to thank you and thank you, our guests, our visitors. Keep building smart and stay curious, and try Cursor. Or if you try, just leave us your opinion. How do you like it? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.